I'm here with Razan, who is a hypnotherapist and life coach from Saudi. And she is going to share with us so much about her story today. What what compelled me about her case is when we first met a few months ago, because you've been here a few months. She was one of the first people I met in earnest, and Kyle connected us, and we went for a nice lunch. I could hardly move and bend my arms at that point. That's how bad my hardened skin with TSW was. And I looked at her at the restaurant, and she looked stunning. And I said, Rozan, what is actually wrong with you from a TSW perspective? But I know she's got a story, and it's a really compelling one, and it may actually impact a lot of people at home, viewers at home that are thinking about what's happening to them. And so, you know, she looks gorgeous now. She looked gorgeous then, but she has a story, and so we're going to hear it today. Razan, share with us your eczema story, your TSW story, and what compelled you to come all the way here from your home country to try CAP.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me, Alia, and thank you for doing this and sharing our stories with the TSW community. I really appreciate that. So for me, I only have TSW on my face because this is the place where I used to use cortisone creams. Uh, it started when I was very young, like maybe 15 years old in my teenage life. It actually started with me having dermatillomania. So, dermatillomania is a condition where you pick at your skin just to relieve anxiety and stress. So, I used to have acne, and yeah, I used to have acne, and then I started picking at that acne for a long period, and then I started to have hyperpigmentation. So like I kind of damaged the skin that I used to pick at, and that has led me to visit a dermatologist. So from there, the dermatologist, they diagnosed me with eczema, or specifically seborrheic dermatitis.
Right.
So as you may know by now, that like the only solution for eczema and what the doctors provide is giving you cortisone creams. So I started applying cortisone creams ever since, and for around maybe 15 to 10 years, I have applied cortisone creams like at separate times. I don't actually
Not
remember.
not consecutively,
No,
of
not
course. Yeah.
consecutively. Yeah, so I think the longest time I applied cortisone cream, like, was for 1 year long, and then after that, maybe I stopped. It was like on and off, like 1 month, 2 months, and then stopped in 1 month, 2 months.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Which is, I think, the story of many
Mm,
people, you know?
mm,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, so like 2 years ago, I started feeling that I have something different on my skin. Like it wasn't the usual eczema. It was like my skin felt different, and it started to get flare-ups as well. And I did not want to go to the dermatologist because I knew the dermatologist, they will give me a cortisone cream, and I knew it was just not the right solution. It was just something temporarily because the moment I stopped using the cortisone creams, my skin would go red and flare, and it will be itchy and yes, scaly, and so I didn't want to go to the dermatologist, but I felt like I didn't have any other solution. So I went to the dermatologist, and of course, she gave me a cortisone cream. But this time, she told me that there's something else I can use. Like I can use the cortisone cream for only 2 weeks,
Okay.
and then I can use the Protopic. I think it's called Protopic. And the Protopic is not cortisone. It's something that's very light, and you can use it for like 3 months or something like that. So this is what I did. So after I stopped the cortisone cream after 2 weeks and continuing using the Protopic cream, I thought, oh, this time is different because nothing has happened.
Right.
But then after 3 months from using the Protopic, and then like I was stopping the Protopic gradually, like not suddenly. So I did exactly, and I followed the doctor's instruction. But the moment I stopped the Protopic, like my skin just went crazy. Like my whole face was red and it was very itchy and it was really horrible. So I think at that time I got TSW and I only got it like, thank God I only got it just on my face, not all over my body.
What were the symptoms that you were feeling on your face?
Like it was not normal eczema, like the spread of the redness and itchiness and the scab. It was very very dry and scale, and there was like always scratching and scabs everywhere. Like it was very dry. So I feel like comparing to eczema, it's like 10 times worse or more. It just doesn't feel it's like normal eczema because I started to have like red patches in places that I've never had eczema before.
Some people would just look at you and think, oh, she has a bad rash on her face.
Yeah, yeah. And now looking back, since coming here to the clinic and seeing Jay and I got a good diagnosis. The correct diagnosis is that I have fungal infection.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm going to just jump in and say, okay, you get here, you go for your first treatment,
mhm,
you meet with Jay, you meet with the CAP team.
mhm.
What happens there? What did you learn about your case? You just mentioned fungal infection. And I
Yeah,
feel like maybe on that day you probably learned a lot, but I'd love to hear what
yeah,
your
sure.
perspective was on
Yeah.
that day.
So well, the first day when I came to the clinic, the CAP clinic here in Thailand, in Bangkok, Jay told me that I don't have TSW anymore, that my skin has healed and it's just hyperpigmentation. So was
Okay.
before doing my first treatment. He didn't give me a diagnosis for fungal infection. He just said I don't have TSW anymore. I just have hyperpigmentation, which is like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation because my skin has been inflamed continuously for a very long time. It was like 1 year and a half since the beginning of TSW. So yeah, this is why I got hyperpigmentation because my skin was inflamed for a very long time. So he told me that I have post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and that's it. And he told me that hyperpigmentation will take a very long time, from like 6 months to a year, until
Okay.
it's completely healed, and it might not even completely heal, maybe like 90%
Okay.
or so. But that's better than having hypopigmentation. Hypopigmentation meaning like your skin uh, is lighter than the patches that are hypopigmented are lighter than your normal skin color.
Did Jay give you any sense of like timeline? You mentioned six
Yeah,
months to a
so
year, but what would you accomplish in the time that you were here?
just to continue on my story,
Yes.
something I forgot to mention. So after the first or second treatment, like um, Jay has given me the diagnosis that I actually do have a fungal infection. It
Okay.
wasn't clear in the beginning, maybe because of the discoloration of my skin. It wasn't clear. But the funny thing is, now when I think about it, I think what led me to go to the dermatologist the last time I went to the dermatologist is because I think I had fungal infection and she did not diagnose it right. She mixed it up with like eczema, seborrheic dermatitis,
Right.
and then she gave me cortisone, which made even the fungal infection worse. So now it's TSW plus fungal infection, and now it's like,
Can I
yeah,
jump in there? What happens if you continue to leave a fungal infection alone, or you like what happens at home if you know this based on a fungal infection and TSW skin? Like, can you give us a bit of
yeah,
background
yeah,
on
yeah.
that?
The funny thing is because I started using the CJ serum 5 or 6 months before coming here to Thailand, and my skin was improving. It was really improving till a certain point where I felt, okay, nothing is happening. Like my skin is not improving, and I didn't know why. And then when I came here, when Jay told me it was a fungal infection, the fungal infection will not be treated unless you take medication. So it would have been pointless for me to just waste my time waiting for TSW to heal
Okay.
on itself and using CJ serum and just hoping that I would heal. I would have never have healed because I no one because I don't have the right diagnosis. I had fungal infection, and I didn't know that I had fungal infection.
That's really important, I think, for viewers at home that
Yeah.
ask some of us, what should we do if we're not here? And we advise them use CJ serum. Like I do that for hardened skin. Other people
Yeah.
advise CJ
Yeah.
serum is helpful, but I guess if you're at home and you're dealing with a fungal infection and you don't know that you're dealing with a fungal infection, you're kind of
Yeah.
idle. So, question for you.
It's also, oh yeah, it's also,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Jay told me that it's hard for dermatologists to diagnose a fungal infection if the patient had TSW skin, because
Okay.
the fungal infection does not present itself in the usual way that normal people with fungal infection have. So that's why it's difficult for dermatologists to actually diagnose fungal infection with patients who have TSW skin.
So, if someone at home is watching this and hearing your story, what should they say to their dermatologist? Like how can they get this information through to their dermatologist? What would you suggest? And you may
Uh,
not know, and that's okay.
Yeah, I was just reading the website called Decoding TSW.
Jing's website,
Yeah,
very helpful.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I was reading about the fungal infection, and I realized there are like some tests that you can do to confirm that you have a fungal infection. So I would really, if you suspect that you have a fungal infection, you should do the tests. Ask your doctor to do the test, and I think that would confirm that you have a fungal infection.
But I remember you said something just a few minutes ago because I don't know enough about fungals because I haven't had to deal with that
Mhm.
yet. Hopefully not. Um, but what happens if you're dealing with treating a fungal infection but you have TSW skin?
Uh-huh.
I've heard a couple of people mention that you
Yeah,
can't really do that, and then you also just validated that for me.
uh, if you have fungal infection, you have to treat the fungal infection first.
Okay.
And because the thing is, the fungal infection medication, it will irritate your TSW skin. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but you have to treat the fungal infection, because if you don't treat the fungal infection, it will make your TSW skin worse. The fungal infection in itself, it will irritate your skin and it will postpone your healing. So
Okay.
you have to treat first the fungal infection, and you do that through the medication. And the medication itself uh, is irritating for your TSW skin, but that's okay because it's gonna be for a short period of time. And like I think there are different types of medication, like creams and pills. And here, what Jay is giving to all of, I think for most of the patients here, are the pills.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you've started on the fungals now.
yeah.
And how long will your fungal medication go for?
Um, you take the idea. You want me to explain like the whole idea of the fungal
Yeah.
infection?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the thing with the fungal infection, um, it's because the medication, it kills the mature or adult fungal, but it doesn't kill the spore. It doesn't kill that. So the spore stays in your skin, and the only way for the spores to be healed or you get rid of them is if you let your skin shed for one whole month. This means that you're not supposed to be scratching any parts of your body as much as possible, because when you scratch, you would be it would be as if you're implementing the spores into your skin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So this is what happens. So the medication kills the mature fungal, but it cannot kill the spores. And the only way for you to kill the spores is to just let them shed away from your skin by not scratching for one whole month. So this means that you're gonna take the just to just to be safe, you're gonna take the medication for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds,
Okay.
and you do it by like you take the medication for 7 days, and then for 21 days you take a break, and
Okay.
then 7 days again you take the medication, and that's called like one round. So there is
Wow.
like
Okay.
21 days of break between each round, because the medication is a bit heavy on the liver, and you want to give your liver a break.
Okay. And where are you now in the process of your fungal medication?
Yeah, now Next Saturday, I'm gonna be taking my medication. Like it's my fourth round,
Okay.
but I'm thinking maybe I would need like 8 rounds.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. And how, so you leave in like 2 days' time.
yeah,
Two questions for you. Uh, how are you going to just sort of keep in touch with the CAP clinic and share your results as you carry on? Do
yeah,
you plan to return here? And then secondly, how are you feeling writ large about what you've accomplished while you've been here?
yeah. So for me coming here, I think I had a bit of higher expectations,
Okay.
just because when I was comparing my photos to other people and seeing like very horrible pictures of other people, like what they went through and the suffering that they went through, I just felt like my condition is easy, it's gonna be healed
I mean, that's what
fast.
I thought when I met her, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I got that impression from most of the people that I saw in the clinic, which I'm really happy. I didn't want, like, I didn't want more suffering. But yeah, I had high expectations. So I thought, like, maybe in 1 month time, meaning in 4 treatments, because you do one treatment per week, um, I thought, like, I'm going to be healed in 1 month. But then after doing my fourth treatment, I realized, okay, I think I'm going to need more time. So now today I'm going to be finishing my 16th treatment, but I still feel like my skin needs more time, like maybe 8 9 months,
Okay.
because as Jay has told me that you are considered to be having a stable skin is when you go for 6 months long without having any irritation whatsoever. This means like you're in a stable condition. So I still feel like I'm a bit far from that
Okay.
place. But yeah, one thing that's is giving me hope is that because back home I'm living near the ocean, near the sea.
Hmm.
So, like, as your viewers may know, that going to the beach or going to the sea, like in the last hour of the day, and just soaking your skin with the seawater for 30 minutes to 60 minutes,
Yeah.
it's good for your skin. Doing that three
Yeah.
times per week, they say that it equals to one cup treatment here, but I'm not sure about that. I hope
We
it
don't
is,
know.
but I'm not sure about that. Yeah,
So, what happens next? You'll use the C. You know you have a bit more
I
left.
think the
You've got the
biggest,
fungal
yeah,
medication.
mm,
Where do you
yeah,
go from here?
I think the biggest challenge for me when I go back home is to stay away from irritants. Like this is the biggest challenge because I live with my family, with my parents and other siblings. So yeah, but I'm trying to work it out and
Okay.
see how I control the environment as much as possible and not make it like TSW friendly.
One more question before we close out. Your skin proliferation rate now at 16 treatments. What have you learned from Jay and the CAP team about that?
I remember Toto. He told me like it's 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I reached 100%,
Okay.
but then after that it will decrease after stopping the treatments.
So you'll need some maintenance treatments. Do you think that you'll do those?
I think if I had more treatments in the future, that would be helpful, and I might come back again, like after a few months.
Okay.
I'm not sure,
Yeah, you'll see.
but I'll see with the going to see how that would affect my skin.
Okay.
Hopefully, it would help me a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Any closing remarks, any observations, anything you want to share with the viewers? You've already given us a lot of knowledge, myself
yeah,
included, knowing
yeah,
I didn't have much about fungals, so thank you.
yeah. Sure. Um, I think for if you have a TSW skin, I think if you can come to Bangkok to get the treatment, it's worth it. Although it's very difficult, but I think it's gonna speed your healing journey. And just having the right diagnosis and learning from Jay himself, it's really really helpful. Um, and just do what you can to help yourself. It is a very hard condition for all of us, and we're all here supporting each other.
Hmm.
Just what like Alia is doing, And yeah, I hope that this video would help other people who need this information.
Thank you, Razan.
You're
So
welcome.
nice to spend time with you and learn about your story more because, you yeah, there's just so many layers to each one and
Yeah.
each patient, and no case is the same. And so you just sort of really unraveled that for us
Yeah.
in a really thoughtful way.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having me. Thank you.
Thank you.